Hello, I couldn't make it to class to present today, but I want to make sure that you all got this very important information that I worked hard on, so I decided to do a video. So, um, my specific topic will be about peer pressure and alcohol use amongst college students. So, just to give you a little, a couple of statistics, in the United States, over 80% of college students have at least one alcoholic drink over a 2 week time period. And so, if you kind of think about that, you can say maybe go to happy hour every other week, or you may drink at a party, maybe not every weekend, but at least once every other week. So it seems pretty relatable. And so, of these college students, 40% are binge drinking, which means having over four or more drinks on an occasion, which greatly surpasses the rate of their non college peers. So, here you have it, say an 18-year-old who's in college has a higher risk of binge drinking than an 18-year-old who is not in college. So, when you think about those statistics, obviously you can see that like the environment plays a role. And one of the main points I want to point out is most college students, especially their freshman year, they are just now getting adjusted to the college lifestyle, and they transition from depending on their parents at home to depending on their peers on campus for support. And that usually isn't a bad thing. You have like even like with the RAs, you would have like RA meetings, or people encourage freshmen to join organizations to get involved just so they can have a support system. And these peer interactions may be essential for college students in that the peers provide the guidance and support needed to, help during this transitional period. But because they are particularly reliant on friend groups, um, it enhances peer pressure, and that peer pressure can be negative or positive. And so this is important when talking about Greek life because a lot of times, I know everything is different for each fraternity or sorority, but a vast majority of fraternity and sorority members um, join their sorority as a first semester freshman. And it is a great opportunity to meet new friends, a great way to build your support system, and just to feel like you have a home here at this large university. But when you have that support system, and it seems like your support system is influencing you to do things that maybe your parents wouldn't influence you to do, such as drinking, partaking in risky behavior like that, then it increases the amount of like drinking that you do because it seems like everyone around you is drinking. And so that is how peer pressure pretty much starts here early on. And so there are two types of peer pressure. You have indirect or direct encouragement. So peer pressure is the encouragement from one's own age group to engage in activities that they may or may not want to engage in. And um, like I mentioned, there's the indirect or the direct. And so the direct peer pressure is where, say, if you're at a party and someone's like, take this shot with me, take it, take it, take it. And you're saying, no, I don't want to, or I don't need to drink, I'm driving. No, take this shot. Stop being a loser and take this shot. That would be direct peer pressure. Someone directly trying to influence you to do something. They're telling you this is what you need to do. That's direct pressure. But then the scariest form is indirect peer pressure. And what makes that so scary is that it's peer pressure without even like you could be being peer pressured without even realizing you're being peer pressured. And so with indirect, it's more so well, I think this is what everyone is doing, so this is the norm, so it's okay for me to do it too because this is what all my friends are doing. And we had a discussion in class, I remember, about like what norms really were. And so that's what makes the whole idea of drinking in like in college and especially with Greek life, it makes it scary because most people have the idea that all Greeks do, is like drink and party all the time. If they think that's the norm, then they'll be okay with doing that. But in reality, that's not the case. It's just what we've been stereotyped to do. So, because there's this indirect pressure on especially young students, young freshmen, or even like sophomores, because there's this indirect pressure to drink and to think that it's okay to drink, more people are doing it. And it's seen as okay because if everyone else is doing it, I'm a loser if I don't. And so it's it kind of sucks because it's almost like we are going in a circle. Oh, well, I think somebody's drinking, so I'm gonna drink, but they're not really drinking, but I'm gonna drink anyways because I think everyone's drinking even though I don't want to drink, but I kind of want to drink because I think everyone's doing it, but in reality, no one's really drinking like that. And so it just shows how complex things really are and how if you want change, you have to start with yourself because it takes one person to say, well, no, I'm not going to drink tonight at this party, and you may be seen as weird or a loser or a square, but in reality there are parties that people go to that they don't drink every single weekend, and it's okay. Um, so another thing related to peer pressure is the fact that it becomes less obvious as you become more comfortable with a group of people because you're influenced indirectly, like we said. So, if that's the case, if negative peer pressure can be influenced indirectly, so can positive peer pressure. So if you think that just because I joined this sorority, we're known for having high scholastic and like ethical standards, then and I'm under the impression that in order to uphold my values and the true meaning of what it means to be in my Greek literature organization, that I have to go to class, I have to care about my academics. And you may think everyone in your organization is doing that. I mean, they may not be, but that's the impression that you're under. That it influences you to also do positive things and make sure that you have good grades and things of that nature. So, peer pressure isn't all bad, just when it's related to negative things. That's when it can go downhill. But as you can see, a solution would be to try and change the social norms that we have, and try not to highlight so much on the negative indirect peer pressure, but focus on the positive forms of indirect peer pressure because those can really try and outweigh, at the end of the day, those can outweigh the negative, and we can help overcome some of the issues. So I really hope that everyone takes in consideration their role in their organization and what they can do to help prevent peer pressure, well, help prevent negative peer pressure and help influence more positive things throughout their organization. So, thank you.